What's going on? You already know what it is. Ball Knowers Pod. Before we logged in here, we are just talking what a beautiful and glorious Week 15 of the NFL season it was. Just kidding, some of these games were pretty garbage. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about them for you and go over Week 15 and look ahead to what's to come at Week 16 and any other football out there too. Like shout out college football playoffs as they do start on Saturday, which is awesome for everyone that likes college football. But anyways, as Week 15 goes, when me and Jala previewed it last week, we looked ahead. There was a few games that we kind of pointed out. Pittsburgh, Philly was one of them. The Buffalo, Detroit one was a big like Super Bowl-esque matchup one. Green Bay, Seattle. Besides that, kind of all mid throughout, the rest of the matchups. There's no more buys. So every team's playing now, even the shitty ones. So they got to be matched up with somebody. And that's kind of what happened this weekend. It looked like it was just a good team against a shitty team, and so you know who was already going to win. But nonetheless, we'll start. That trash Thursday night game was I wish I won those 3 hours back from that Thursday night football Rams Niners game. I watched that whole thing from beginning to end, and I swear to God, it was like a 9-hour game. I felt like
there was a guy who cashed a prop of no touchdowns. It was a $500 bet. And he won like $100,000 or something. It was awesome.
That's crazy.
That's the only guy that enjoyed that game.
That's such an outrageous bet that it's never going to hit. And if those teams played like 10 times, that doesn't happen in 10 times, So shout out that guy who bet no touchdowns. He knew something we didn't. But yeah, it was.
Yeah. He knows Shanahan's getting fired. That's what he knows.
Doubt it.
It was funny. I mean, Rams go into San Francisco. They get the win 12-6 in as Joller said, a no touchdown game. It was brutal to watch this game. Anyone did watch it. I mean, it's prime time, and you would think division game, great matchup. These teams play hard every time they play. I don't know if you guys remember, like 6 or 7 years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, it was like 50 to like 46 or something like that, like on a Thursday night game. But they're back when they used to have the Thursday night football, like what is it called? Like their third jerseys. It was like those bright, like gold
Color Rush.
That's
Color
what it was.
Rush.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I was like, oh man, that'd be sick if it was one of those games. But it most likely was not. I think nobody really had any sort of outstanding performance in this game. I think the biggest two takeaways I will say was Debo bitching about wanting the ball. Gets the ball and fucking drops it. So R.I.P. Debo.
That video you sent today had me dying, dude. The Debo skit dropping every pass.
Dude, he's like, no, it's supposed to be my hands.
Well, I need to see that. It's the face mask. It's facts though.
Dude, he dropped a would have been touchdown, and dropped a couple more was bad, and then was it Lavondre Campbell? I forgot. Is that his name? Devondre Campbell leaves in the third quarter. Packers legend, Lavondre Campbell.
1 year, 2 years.
Devondre, whatever, same thing. Leaves.
They didn't even cut him.
I don't think they're saving money by not cutting him. So if anyone doesn't know, he was in the third quarter. He asked to go in. He said, "I don't want to play," and then just left. Subsequently, he's been suspended for 3 games, which is the rest of the season because there's only 3 weeks left, anyways. Does that mean Shanahan saying we're not going to make the playoffs because he could have said 4 games if they make the playoffs?
Yeah, I still don't understand his reasoning behind that. Like I know what happened, but I didn't care to look into it. But I saw Kittle's presser. And Kittle was saying what everyone should have said. Like, I've never experienced that. I can't imagine experiencing that again. Like having another teammate like that. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it was because Drake Greenlaw came back.
Yeah.
And they were splitting.
And so he was starting all season because Drake Greenlaw was out from the Super Bowl injury last year, and now his first game back. And obviously, they're not playing Devondre, and he's all pissed off about it and butthurt. So then in the third quarter, yeah, but I mean, he's like, I won't play, But he had posted on Instagram, I think, before the game, and he was like, "Oh, a team is about to get a really good player." A new team is about to get a really good player or some shit like that.
I don't know. What a piece of shit. I liked Kittle's ran, dude. He was going in on him. He was like, nobody wants
He was
that person on their
professional though.
team. Yeah, he was like, I wish I would have saw it. He's like, as a captain, I would have stepped in and said something, but he's like, obviously it happened like I wasn't around, so but whatever. San Francisco down bad, not gonna make the playoffs. Trouble in the locker
Are they
room,
going to pay
whatever.
Brock?
But
That's the bigger headline right
I
there.
saw the
Is what are they
report
doing with
that
Brock?
said he's going to be asking for top of the market. I think it was
this season he's
Schefter.
shown not worth it. Like,
So if he's not though, I mean, it doesn't look like he's obviously worth that. I personally don't see them moving off him. Maybe they should. I don't think they will. But if they were going to move off him, who do they bring in? That's the
can't
Sam
they wait
Darnold.
one more year?
Sam Darnold, who was in San Francisco last year, his backup.
Can't they wait one more year? Does he have one more year left though?
No, I don't think so.
Sam Darnold, I think he kind of makes
Wait,
sense.
has it only been 3 years?
I thought so.
Supposedly
Yeah.
the Vikings are going to pay Sam Darnold, which
That's weird.
I love to see how that
That'd be crazy.
plays out.
Because then you just trade JJ or what?
Maybe.
He gets the Aaron Rodgers treatment. I don't know. Anyways, Niners down bad.
Niners down bad. Rams scary. Don't want to play them in the playoffs. That's for sure. And then coupled with the Seattle loss too. I mean that helps their odds pretty big to win that division, the NFC West. So we'll see how those last 3 weeks play out. I mean I know they have to play each other. I think they play each other again one more time. If I'm not mistaken. Yes, last week of the season, week 18. So that could potentially be for the division.
All the
which will be
marbles.
fun. Yeah. But a couple other games, that game was bad. 12-6, Rams get the win. No touchdowns, which is really boring. A couple other easy ones to kind of look through that weren't surprising. Baltimore at New York. Baltimore goes into Jersey, gets the win 35-14. This was, I think, the largest spread in the history of the NFL, I believe.
What was it, like 14.5?
It looks like it closed. Oh, yeah, 16.5. It closed on ESPN. Probably around there. 16.5 was the biggest I saw. I never saw it get to 17. 16.5 was the biggest I saw. And I saw it, and in zero hesitation, I bet on the Ravens. Not even thinking about it for a second. Packers legend Tim Boyle with the start for the Giants too.
Tim Boyle, dude. Hey, Tim Boyle was a great backup. Didn't do anything, but he was around for a while.
Yeah, so Lamar goes off, 5 tutties, 300 yards. Derrick Henry, kind of a quiet night. Malik Neighbors looked pretty good. We like him. I mean, I think he should be traded somewhere that has a quarterback. Would be, like to see him, especially if he was healthy all season too, which would have been more exciting. But
I'm not going to trade a rookie.
With nobody to trade.
He's their best player.
Yeah.
I've seen teams do dumber things.
Yeah, to keep him for next year's quarterback coming out.
Cam Ward. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Better than Shadura, I guess. But Baltimore wins 35-14. Pretty easy, pretty simple one. Rashad Bateman too, sneaky 2 touchdowns, which is pretty good. Are the Ravens looking to close in on the gap to get the number 1 seed?
No,
I think they can.
Number 1 seed? Oh, you
number 1 seed,
win the division?
To win the division, yeah.
They have to beat Pittsburgh this week.
1 behind Pittsburgh.
If Pittsburgh wins, it's over. If they lose, then there's a chance.
Yeah.
Correct. But yeah, so they demolish the Giants because the Giants are ass. Another weird spread was Carolina being the favorites over Dallas at home by 2.5. I think they were favored to win for the first time in 2 years or something like that in a game.
Vegas might be the biggest Dallas hater over America. I said that was outrageous. I don't even. Oh, they're playing better. Oh, they're looking better. No, They should not be favored in a single game this season. And I might be the only one in America who loved Dallas shitting on them because that is the most disrespectful. Dallas is dreadful. Panthers are way worse. So the idea that they were favorite in Dallas, I'd bet my life. I go back in time. I would have bet my life savings on Dallas. That was the dumbest spread of all time of the season by far. You're welcome.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think
Justin's probably Carolina. Like, no, man, Panthers are better. Cowboys suck. That's probably a good spread.
No, because this is what they do. They win games when they shouldn't be winning games. They're supposed to lose these games, but they're gonna win all these games. So they're gonna lose to Tampa Bay, and they'll probably lose to Philly. They'll probably beat Washington. Calling it.
God, it'd be so annoying.
I could 100%. I agree with that. You know what? I'm picking that way ahead of time. I'm picking Dallas to win that game as well.
Yeah. Cooper Rush looks good. 3 touchdowns. CD, 1 touchdown as well. Rico Dowdle, man, almost 150 yards on the ground. It's pretty good. Like to see it. You know, Bryce Young. I think they gave that spread because they, been playing really close games. Almost quote unquote beat the Chiefs. Took the Bucks to overtime.
Almost beating the Chiefs is like literally everyone in the entire league. You see that? You see that graphic of like Chiefs in 1-score games. It's like everyone in 1-score games. Everyone's lost them. The Chiefs are like 10-0 or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Shout out the refs.
Yeah, they lost 3 in a row, and the 3 losses before the Cowboys won was all to division winners or division leaders, and all of them was less than 6 points or less. So I get that the bookies or whatever, Vegas was like, man, let's give them a chance. And now we know why. They should not get that again for at least another two years.
What I thought might come true almost did. I wasn't on last week, so I couldn't talk about it. But if they don't muff that punt against Cincinnati, I think they're 7-7 right now. And we would have been saying like, oh, shit, can they make it? They would only need Washington to lose 1 game, and then they beat them the last week of the season. But now it's over. But they're going to continue to win these stupid-ass games to hurt their draft stock, and that's just how they roll.
It's true. There's still a chance. I saw the stat today. 0.1% chance the Cowboys have to make the Super Bowl.
So make the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
My God.
0.1. Another easy one, Cincinnati beats up on Tennessee in Tennessee. Cincinnati wins 37-27. Again, Burrow putting up 3 touchdowns, over 270, putting up nearly 40 points. That's definitely going to help you win. He does set the Bengals franchise record for touchdowns in the season. So, that's cool. So shout out Ohio State legend, Joe Burrow. Love to see it. It's, it just sucks because I think he's MVP status and they were putting up just big boy numbers. Him and Jamar Chase for sure. Jamar Chase again led the game in reception yards at like 94, 95 yards. But in more exciting news, Will Levis is no longer going to be starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. It's going to be Mason Rudolph, who took over in this game and will now be taking over most likely, I'm assuming, for the rest of the season.
God,
I think Joe Burrow should be MVP. I don't think wins losses means anything for that award.
That's a fact. By definition, most valuable player. Imagine.
Think about what they would
Joe
be.
Burrow not on the Bengals. Yeah. They'd be winless. You can't have an MVP like numbers and then be like, nah, he's not at all the MVP. Joe Burrow is the MVP. And Ashton Jennings Heisman. So
facts. Ashton Jennings robbed. Joe Burrow robbed of any MVP love. Like, I feel like he doesn't even get remotely mentioned sometimes, like on talk shows and stuff, which sucks because no one likes to talk about you when your team's losing. Definition, yes, most valuable player. If he's gone,
I identify him as my MVP.
If he doesn't play, are they winless? Yes, but we could say that about a lot of teams. If Lamar Jackson doesn't play in Baltimore, they're not going to win a majority of those games. If Josh Allen isn't on the Bills,
is different. They have to score 40 just to have a chance.
Correct.
Someone pull it up. What is it? He's like first in yards, first in tuds.
Every week, man.
Yeah.
We had it
If
last
they
week.
if they had 3 more wins, he's MVP of the league right now. If they're 9-5 instead of 6-8,
Yeah.
if his
I agree.
defense gets one stop,
Yeah.
One. That's all you need, right? Dude? Crazy. But I mean, they get the well-deserved win again. Shitty team in Tennessee with quarterback trouble and stuff too. Will Levis probably he like freaking got tackled or he got like pushed out of bounds, like laid on the floor, dude. I was like, you gotta stop being the memes, man. Like he's all over the freaking place.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I saw it. It was like, wake up, babe, the new meme dropped.
The new Will Levis meme job. I'm like, dude, this guy's a nightmare. But yeah, Cincinnati wins. What's the other one? Washington, New Orleans. This one was closer than what I would have thought. Marshawn Lattimore's first game back. I think he didn't even record a stat, if I'm not mistaken. His first game in a Commander's uniform facing his old team. I don't think he recorded a single stat. I could be wrong though, because I checked it like halfway. Yeah, he did not. Not one tackle or anything.
Still got the dub though.
I guess.
By one.
dude, barely, man. Like if like they went for 2, right? So that's why they lost.
Correct. Yeah, and this game wasn't very. This game was closer than what I would have anticipated for sure. I mean, Washington had the ball most of the time. Every time I was checking my phone, I was like, oh, Washington has the ball, and they're up 14-0. All right, cool. Oh, Washington has the ball, they're up 17-0. And then they didn't really score much after that. And then it was like field goal, field goal, field goal. And they slowly kind of chip away at that lead. I mean, 20 points isn't that big of or 20 points isn't that much. I mean, 3 touchdowns you can win if you get on the board. And so, I mean, going into the fourth quarter was 17-7. I mean, 10-point game is really attainable. And then, yeah, I mean, New Orleans has nothing to do. Fuck it, go for 2. If you win, awesome. If you lose, who cares? You're supposed to lose this game anyways, and you're not making the playoffs. You're just going to spoil Washington's win. And luckily they didn't. And Jaden Daniels, our boy. Actually, shout out Jaden Daniels. Happy birthday. It's his 24th birthday today. In the Empire Go, baby.
Jesus, dude. 24.
Number 24.
Yeah, 24.
What the fuck are we doing?
Finishing school, I think.
And he had 300 total yards almost, 2 touchdowns, and Scary Terry had those 2 passing touchdowns. So, but win's a win, man. 2019. And I would say, I mean, they're not really on pace to come back and win that division, right? Because they're now 2 behind.
3.
They still have one more.
I don't think they play spoiler either. I think they're one and done in the playoffs. They've been hell mid the last month.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have to go to Philadelphia or Detroit or Minnesota.
Yeah, it's curtains, dude. I'd love it if they beat Minnesota, but
I can see them beating Minnesota. I can't see them beating Detroit or Philly.
In Minnesota, you can see it.
That'd be the only one I could.
Detroit could be dead with all the injuries.
The only one I could see is Philly.
Really?
What?
Yes.
Philly's won 11 games in a row, something like that.
Okay, book this right now. Book it right now.
No,
Washington plays Philly in this week. They play Philly this week. If they lose that game and then they end up going to Philly in the playoffs, they will win.
Wait, if the Commanders lose this week?
If they lose to Philly this week, Philly will not beat Washington 3 times this year. It won't happen.
It's hard to beat somebody 3 times.
I was saying that with the Packers and the Lions.
Yeah.
They played them close twice.
A close game.
They played them close twice, right? And then if you play them a third time, that game, never mind, I'm not going to backtrack. But I was telling Zach, I was like, the Packers-Lions game wasn't super disappointing because it doesn't really affect their seeding. They're not going to win the division. They're going on the road. It doesn't really affect anything.
It would have gave them a better chance at it if they would have won.
But Detroit isn't going to lose 2 out of the last 4 anyways. So
you don't know that. They have 22 people on IR.
If they do, I could eat my words. But at the time, it didn't feel like they were going to win the division, even if they won that game. But the fact that they kept up with them that close was like a huge confidence boost. And I was saying it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a single season. Statistically, it almost never happens. So, yeah, I love it if the Commanders beat Philly in the playoffs. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be sick.
Yeah, I don't know. Who gets the number 1 seed? That's the thing.
We will see.
I think
we'll have 3 weeks
Minnesota,
left.
maybe.
Really?
I don't know. I think it sounds that crazy. Because the Lions are beat up.
I think they have San Francisco, Detroit, and Green
Packers.
Bay, right?
Yep.
Kind of tough.
Damn. But we'll see. I mean, this week will be a good test though. Last 2 morning games from week 15, again kind of trash. New York at Jacksonville and Miami at Houston. New York at Jacksonville, 2 teams that are bad and not making the playoffs. Nobody really cares. Mac Jones almost outduels Aaron Rodgers, but they score with a minute left to take the lead, and for good. And the Jets get the win in Jacksonville, 32-25. Devontae Adams, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's old school. That's Green Bay Devontae Adams numbers right there. Love to see that. Would have loved to see that 6 weeks ago. That's what the whole reason
doesn't matter.
was there for.
Jets are trading his ass the day after the offseason starts.
Facts. Here's a fun question. Who do you think was the leading rusher for the Jets in this game?
Aaron Rodgers.
It was indeed Aaron Rodgers, the leading rusher with 45 yards. That's wild.
It's that old man's speed.
His old ass. Don't they have like the youngest kid in the league on their team too?
I don't know.
Because they have the oldest and the youngest. It's their running back. I forgot his name.
Brees Hall?
No, it's not Brees Hall. It's the rookie that they got. His name is Braylon Allen.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Braylon Allen is his name.
Oh, yeah.
And so the youngest and the oldest guys in the NFL on the team. So, but Jets get the win. That's exciting. Miami,
Rodgers'
Houston.
season stat wise is not terrible.
Check down CEO.
It just has looked like really bad. If you told the Jets fans that, hey, he's going to have, with 3 games left, 3,300 yards passing, 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions with a 90 quarterback rating, I think they would have been like, sounds pretty good. We're probably in the wild card.
That's what Zach Wilson had last year. What are you talking about?
Did he?
But that's not evenly distributed across the game. He's had like 2 games over 300 yards or around 300 yards, and some games had like 110, 110, 110.
Yeah,
like,
if you drill down into the games, I'm just saying, overall,
no,
it's like not that bad. There's plenty that are worse.
Eye test. It's all garbage stats. So they lost like every fucking game. None of it matters. You were never in the game. I watched a lot of it, the first half at least, scrupulously. And it was
all on him.
It never passed the eye test, dude. The Jets never passed the eye test.
How about the Texans? Do they pass the eye test? They
no. I already said no.
They beat the Dolphins.
My statement
20-12.
They're your Super Bowl pick. The fuck?
I redacted that weeks ago. I was very honest.
But they won this week.
Dude, they're the shittiest first place team I've ever seen.
They are the shittiest first place team.
They barely beat the Dolphins.
I don't know who Houston lost to a few weeks ago, but it pissed me off so bad. I went on that rant, and I was like,
Tennessee.
They did lose to Tennessee?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, that might have been like the straw that broke the camel's back, and I was just like, good teams don't lose to dog shit teams in November. My whole spiel. I should trademark that. Yeah, I haven't watched a second of Houston since that rant.
No, it
just pisses me off.
It was upsetting that they swept the Colts. That was annoying. And then, I was obviously when Tank Dell goes out, or Nico Collins gets out for a couple games too. You lose Stephon Diggs for the whole season too. I was like, man, this sucks. And then they're just skating by. They're going to win the division, obviously, at 10-7, maybe.
Like
they're
the
gonna
worst
win.
division the last decade,
Seriously,
arguably.
and it sucks. They're going to be one. They're going to host a playoff game and be one and done. Because
I would like to note as an asterisk, I am still a Stroud boy, but
sophomore
this
slump
2020
for sure.
Yeah, sophomore slump for sure. It's like unavoidable to talk about. But yeah, this 2024 Houston team, I'm like so all the way out on.
I'm all in on the 2025. I think that's what my ticket was for. 2025 AFC champions.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
No, I don't know. Tua turned the ball over. Had 3 picks in this game too. It's pretty bad. It's not going to help. 3 picks, no concussions. I mean, so that's fun.
Don't worry, those are coming next week.
So,
just kidding.
Dude, I saw a stat too, just to end on this one. The Dolphins and Mike McDaniel do not beat good teams.
Ever.
They can't.
No.
In the last 2 years, or since like 2022, he's had 1 win over a team that was like above 500. Ironically, it was the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. And the rest he's lost.
They've never won a game in under 40 degrees, which
so they can't beat good teams, and they can't
cold.
beat cold teams. So who the fuck
or
can he
moderately chilly teams?
So you could beat the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Awesome. The fuck's that gonna get you?
Yeah, it's bad.
So just to shit on Miami while they're down. I did see too.
Mike McDaniel might get fired after the season. There's
a sneaky hot
whisperings, sneaky hot seat.
Is it though?
But Tua's ineptitude of protecting himself will bail Mike McDaniel out. He'll get a pass, just like Shanahan's going to get a pass for everyone dying around him. You know, it's going to be like the same thing.
I haven't heard anything about him being potentially fired.
I haven't either. But now you mention it, like I think if they kind of lose, because when they were winning on that, they won like 2 in a row. Like, oh shoot, they kind of went out, or maybe they can afford to lose like 1 more, and depending on what Denver does or what Indy does, like they might be able to come out. But they get blown out. Obviously on Thanksgiving, it looks terrible. And then they beat the the Jets last week.
The Packers. Me and AJ were watching the game. Post Thanksgiving dinner, dude. I had pie in hand, just watching the Packers score like twice in the first like 5 minutes. Like, this is the best fucking day ever, dude. Just it was awesome.
But they've been, I think that you said that like kind of on the hot seat. I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of move on, but I wouldn't be surprised if they kept him too.
No, I'm thinking he'll get a pass because of, like I said, because of Tua. Right. Oh, he was injured and blah, blah, blah. Like, well, he's always injured because he goes one-on-one with linebackers and he's too fucking stupid. But, safety. But they suck. Dolphins suck.
They suck. Houston sucks too. They're won the division. They're 3 games over Indy. I think they can. Did they clinch it already? I feel like they would have. But I don't care. They'll win the division. They'll host a playoff game and lose to Baltimore or Pittsburgh, whichever one doesn't win the division. That's my guess.
They did clinch.
They did. Okay. Then they'll lose to, because they'll play the highest seed because they'll be the shittiest division winner. So then they'll play either Baltimore or Pittsburgh and get absolutely murdered. So, which I'm very sad about because I love my boy CJ Stroud. Shout out IE. Shout out Rancho Cucamonga High. Shout out the Ohio State University. But
shout out Friday after next, or no Friday next Friday.
What does that have to do?
Next Friday is filmed in Rancho Cucamonga.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's based in Rancho Cucamonga. Like they talk about it in the show.
Oh shit! I've only seen it once when I was like 11.
It's the worst of the 3 Fridays by far.
Really?
You've seen Friday After Next though, right? Christmas movie. It's like an all-time Christmas movie. You got to watch it. It's Christmas. Right. You got to watch it. It's so good. Right. So good. Sidebar.
Like Die Hard.
Die Hard is the best Christmas movie. Yeah, Houston ass. He was not ass is our boy Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos, who played my Colts. This game was terrible for the Colts. They were actually up for a little bit, had a chance to go up by 2 possessions. If anyone saw the highlights, Jonathan Taylor does the classic, drops the ball at the .0005 yard line as he's running in because he thinks he crosses the plane. He doesn't. Again, I don't know why that happens so much. Just run to the fucking back and hold the ball. I don't understand. I don't
Yeah,
understand
dude.
that.
They're trying to flex. That's what it is.
How
And
much I wasn't watching the game. How much did that hurt them, like in the game?
that was it. Like after
Because the
that, it was
game doesn't
all
seem
downhill.
close when you're looking at like the score, right?
No, yeah, Broncos get the win 31-13. But at that play, I believe I can tell you right now. Where is it at?
It was close at the time. It would have made the game closer.
It was 13-7 Indy. If he would have scored, it would have been 20-7 Indy. But then it ended up being
Never mind, I was wrong.
yeah, and then being 13-10,
Yeah, that's bad.
and then 13-17, and then a pick six, 13-24, and then another touchdown, 31-13. So that was the moment. Like, they always talk about momentum swings. This was, coming right after the half. The Colts picked off Bo Nix. Then we're driving. JT breaks off one for 40 yards and drops the ball. And I mean, for what it's worth, the playoffs were on the line. Actually, would have been a good matchup because you're fighting for Denver and LA for that spot, anyways. This would have kept their hopes alive, etc. And that play right there killed the season, killed my hopes for the Colts for the near future, killed my hopes for the GM. And AR, I'm out. I'm done. Move on.
They
Didn't
actually
even
would have
take
had
to
a
the end
really
of the
good
season.
chance
Now I don't want them to win a single game.
Is he Jamarcus Russell incarnate?
Oh God.
Dude, his completion percentage every week is like in the 40s or like the 30s.
Yeah.
He literally's like, you're never consciously aware when you're dropping the ball. He's like, otherwise you wouldn't do it. I was like, dude.
Are you tapping something, Zach?
Oh, sorry. I had my pen in my hand. Yeah, Colts
So
moving
you can
6-8.
you can just edit out the last like half hour. It's fine.
uh,
Just restart.
Anthony Richardson has 2 picks. Bo Nix has 3 picks, only 130 yards. So not like the cleanest game for either.
So Bo's
But
kind of worrying me a bit because he has 5 picks in 2 weeks now.
yeah,
And they play the Chargers next week.
Thursday
Jordan
night.
Love type beat.
And Baker carved them up, but I think Tampa Bay is really hot right now, so I'm kind of worried.
This game, obviously knocked the Colts out. I love my Colts, but this is not the year. I knew that once we put Joe Flacco in voluntarily. I'm all in on Denver,
That should
man.
have given you hope, dude. That should have given you hope at the time.
I like Denver. I like Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix at Auburn. That's how much I like Bo Nix. All right, he was playing that
You
SEC.
do not like Bo Nix at Auburn.
I love Bo Nix at Auburn.
Because I was like a Bo Lever before Bo Levers were a thing.
Dude, I like Bo Nix at Auburn before you even knew who that was, Justin. I wasn't a fake fan.
No, I was watching his first start, actually. You know who his first win was against?
Who was it?
Oregon.
Was it really? Oh, shoot. What was his coach? Gus Malzahn, probably. Yeah, Bo Nix
remember.
Bo Nix, 5 picks in the last couple weeks. Not the best, but we'll kind of see. I mean, they're right in that mix, for that playoff spot, which is perfect. I'd love to see them in the playoffs. I think they could play spoiler randomly.
They have nothing to lose. They have 90 million dead cap, and they're going to be a playoff team. It's crazy. They have nothing to lose.
And they have no wide receivers, and they have a rookie quarterback.
The AFC playoffs is set, like with the teams that are in.
Just seeding.
It's just about who are you going to play? I think no one wants to be the 7th seed and have to go to Buffalo.
Obviously, yeah.
Anything else could be like a toss-up game, though.
Yeah. Chiefs are ass. That's all I know.
Chiefs are one and done, dude.
The Chiefs
They
are
lie, though.
I said months ago how fucking awful they look. They look don't pass the eye test. They haven't passed the eye test, I think, a single week.
How about that eye test?
I'm just saying, that's that. In one-score games, everyone's lost. Like the 4 teams in the league, and the Chiefs have won like 10-0. It's bullshit. It's just their luck's gonna run out. It's over. It's curtains. I'm declaring it now.
Well, speaking of, we didn't even talk about them real quick. They did win. They beat Cleveland 21-7. I don't care. That's how much I don't care about them. Patrick Mahomes had 150 yards passing. Awesome.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Get trash.
And he's like hurt again, right? Like
the annual fake limp, dude. That limp is so pitiful.
Gets hurt this week every single season.
That limp looks so fake, dude. Walking in the fucking handshake. It's so Hollywood, dude. It makes me want to throw up.
Yep. A couple other ones, easy ones. Arizona, New England. Arizona pissed me off. I told y'all I'm completely out on them. They did win. Obviously, they played. Yeah, they beat New England.
That's what happens every time. Zach goes out
when you don't pick them, they win. You pick them next week, they get shit on.
I'm still out. I'm in on the Rams winning the division.
I would love the Cardinals to win the division, but I don't think it's going to happen. Rams are hot.
The Cardinals can win out, though. They can win out.
I don't know their schedule, but the Rams look good.
I'm not listening to you.
No, I want to hear it. Tell
they're at Carolina. They're at Carolina. Can they win that game?
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
And they're at the Rams.
I don't know, maybe.
Can they win that game?
Okay.
Nice. And then home for San Francisco.
They got to win that game. Okay, but what are the Rams' next 3 now? That's the thing.
Yeah.
They play at the Jets, home for Arizona, home for Seattle.
Okay, so they're going to win at least 2 of those 3. So the Rams are locked up. But see, even now,
well, they have to beat Seattle still.
Seattle didn't look good against the Packers, even before Geno got hurt. They looked super pedestrian. So I don't really know what to make of Seattle. But yeah, I think it'd be fun if Arizona won the division. Be real frisky.
That'd be fun.
Probably not going to happen though. Even now,
I think the Rams are
a sliver of hope.
The Rams are probably they'd probably have another 2 or 3 wins if they were healthy all year, right?
Probably.
So
yes.
11-3.
That game in LA, they probably beat the Packers if they're healthy. The Packers barely beat them.
Yeah, they could be like 10-4, 11-3 right now, as like the team that they are.
Right. A whale.
But I mentioned it earlier. I'm talking about the Chargers. They did get smacked on at home, 40-17 by the Bucks. Bucks look pretty scary. I think they could play. Well, they'll actually, from what it looks like, they're going to be hosting a playoff game, which is fun. 3 weeks ago, we were like, holy shit, Atlanta's going to get in the playoffs and the Bucks are going to be left out. But Atlanta Kirk Cousins just took it.
Kirk Cousins decided to just take the worst month stretch of his entire career.
What is it, like 1 touchdown, 9 interceptions or something like that?
It's something like that.
But Michael Penix is in. But we can talk about that in a sec. Bucks go into LA, man, 40-17. Just unraveled this, the league's #1 defense. Baker Mayfield throws for 4 tutties and only 288 yards. So pretty consistent and efficient with the ball. LA has no running game. No J.K. Dobbins, and Herbert threw his first interception in like 600 pass attempts or something like that.
What?
Something like that.
Is that real?
Yeah, he hadn't thrown a pick in since last season.
Since week 2 this year.
Is that what it was?
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's cool. This game was 17-13 Chargers at halftime and ended 40-17 Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay scored 23 unanswered in the second half. Which is,
what the fuck? They shut them out in the second half and they scored 27 points.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
Against good defense, too.
Against, the best defense. Tampa Bay looks good. You kind of click in again. It sucks that they kind of missed out on a couple of games, but missed out a couple games because of their injuries with Evans out, but Evans is back. Obviously Godwin won't be back, but love to see them in the playoffs. Baker's fun. The Baker boys, baby. Other two games for the Sunday afternoon ones were the bigger ones. The Pittsburgh Philly one, which wasn't as close as I would have pegged. Or it wasn't close at all. I thought it would have been closer. 27-13. Philly gets the win at home. Jalen Hurts, 2 touchdowns, 290 yards. A.J. Brown gets a touchdown as well. I know A.J. Brown was kind of bitching or something because he wasn't getting the ball too. And then Jalen Hurts comes out and throws for almost 300 yards. So
Eagles are good. I know Dustin doesn't think so, but Eagles are good.
Yeah. The game was pretty close. It was 13-17, and then they just shut him out basically in the second half. So
Philly's total yards were 400, and Pittsburgh's total yards was 163. Not gonna win.
Yeah,
it sounds like
games.
Pittsburgh, baby. Run the damn ball. Elite defense. Keep it a close game.
Run the damn ball, and they're running the damn ball, and their leading rusher had 14 yards. Najee Harris.
I saw this meme. I don't know. It was like a random guy, like fat guy, like juking or something in his backyard or something. And the top comment was like, "Still faster than Najee Harris." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Dude.
I saw
Molasses.
I didn't watch the game, but I saw. So the Eagles had the ball with like 10 minutes something left, and they like never gave it back, right?
Yeah, I had a stat, but yeah, they controlled like the last like 11 minutes.
Look at
10 and a half minutes. They got the ball, and then they never gave it back.
Pittsburgh had 2 offensive possessions in the second half.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude.
I said that the other day in the group
crazy.
chat. I was listening to Pardon My Take on Monday, and they were talking about that, and I was like, that can't be that's like an absurd stat.
Yeah.
How was no one talking about this like on ESPN and whatever? I immediately sent that to the chat. When was the last time a team had 2 offensive possessions and a half? The last decade.
Philly had 3 drives. I mean, Philly only had 3 possessions, but those 3 drives totaled 13, 20, 24
Yeah,
minutes.
one took 11 minutes. One took up
those
like almost the whole
24 minutes.
God, it's crazy.
Yeah, they won time of possession 40-20.
Yeah, it was like the fourth quarter, the last like 2.5 minutes, it was like 17 or 18 plays, something like that. Just run down
Their
the
last,
clock.
it was 21 plays, 88 yards just to end it.
Sorry, 21 plays.
Oh, dude.
God, it's so bad.
They converted a 2nd and 20 on that drive too, and 2 4th and 1s. Pretty good.
Well, touch pushes, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Philly moves to what, 12-2 now? Is that right?
To what, 10 straight? 11 straight?
12-2.
12-2. And then the other big game of the afternoon, Buffalo Detroit, kind of Super Bowl-esque matchup. Buffalo does get the win in Detroit 48-42. They lose half the team. Detroit loses half the team in this loss as well. So it's definitely going to be crazy. I do want to give shout out to Jared Goff, throws a 500 piece and 5 tutties in a loss. So I can't blame him at all for anything. They lose David Montgomery, who's out with an MCL injury for the season, which personally
Sucks.
I think that was like their biggest weapons, I think, is having Montgomery versus Gibbs, because they're 2 different types of running backs. I don't think Gibbs is a 3 down, you can't give him the ball 3 times. I don't think he has that kind of workhorse. It kind of comes in, he's a little bit stronger than Montgomery, but
this game never, the score looks close. It never felt that close.
No, it didn't.
The first half, Detroit had a furious comeback, and their offense is really good, right? But like, it never. I don't know. At least to me, not even. I never thought the Lions come back.
No.
Buffalo scored what, like 4 of their first 5 possessions. It was just, it was too easy.
Well, they gave them the ball too. In the red zone, they turned it over on downs, right? Oh
Yeah,
no, they missed the field goal because they had the penalty on the goal line, the bullshit penalty on the goal line, and then they kick a field goal from 5 yards away, from 5 yards out, and they miss it. So they should have had another 7 points there. It shouldn't have even been as close as it was at that point.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like 35-14, and then it was 45-28. Like it was never feeling really that close.
Statement win by Buffalo, though. That's huge win. Statement win. And we all
I
see how
think
good
Detroit's
Detroit was.
defense is like all their players that they have on IR pretty much, minus David Montgomery now, are on the defensive side of the ball. They got like grocery store clerks playing corner right now. And
Shout
I
out
think it's
Kurt Warner.
bad, dude. I actually I don't think they make the Super Bowl anymore. I really don't.
Really?
I think their defense is so bad that they can't keep up with the offenses in the NFC.
I didn't watch a lot of this game because I was doing something like in the backyard. I had the game on to start, and I was really excited, and I was cleaning up or doing dad stuff or whatever, and I took a peek, and like Bills are absolutely shitting on them, and I would just kind of take a peek every few minutes, pop inside, and it was like, the game never felt close. In the first half, I basically turned it off at halftime.
The Thanksgiving Day game was really close. The Green Bay game was really close, and then the Buffalo game was not close, and they lost.
Khalil Dorsey, Carlton Davis, Aleem McNeil, all starters that got put on the IR on the defensive side of the ball.
Wait, what were the names again?
Carlton Davis, Khalil Dorsey, and Aleem McNeil.
The Dorsey injury, brutal. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Yeah, it was nasty.
I think I saw
it was like Aiden Hutchinson 2.0.
RG3 was like, nobody share it, don't look on Twitter.
Yeah.
Immediately shares it and looks. Why do you tell the general populace not to do something on the internet? It's just egging them on to do it. That does the Lions. God, the first 8 weeks, before Aiden Hutchinson got hurt,
Minnesota could win the division still. Imagine Detroit having the season that they've had, and then they have to go on the road the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah,
as
it changes
a 13
everything.
or 14 win team.
Changes everything. The NFC North, besides the Bears, like the Lions, Packers, and Bears, they're all playing each other the last, and they're all 3 stud teams. So you're going to have. I'd like to think Detroit wins that game, but I don't know. Maybe they don't. I don't know if they have to go into Minnesota. If it's at Minnesota, and Minnesota might win. I don't.
No, it's in Detroit.
I kind of like Detroit. I don't see them losing back to back. If they play this
well,
week.
No.
It's week 18.
Game of the season.
Week 18. Yeah. Sorry. It could actually come down to the last game. I was looking at the schedule last week. It's pretty nuts.
It could come down to the last game. And then, if they both win their next 2, you're going to have a 14-team 5 seed going on the road the first week of the playoffs.
It's going to be the Packers, probably. Going to Tampa.
But yeah, the Packers could win 13 games.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, my thing died. So do you think Detroit has a chance?
You're saying Minnesota wins the division? You're picking Minnesota.
I think no, not necessarily. Just because Minnesota has to play Green Bay, and I'm kind of like, I'm worried about that game. Detroit plays Chicago instead of Green Bay because they've already played you twice, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they have to go to San Francisco. I think they win that game. They have to go to Chicago. I think they win that game. I think the problem is Minnesota has to play Green Bay next week. Not this coming week, but the following week.
And then finishing with Detroit.
But if Minnesota can win their next 2 games, that
Well,
that last game of the season is gonna be crazy. They're gonna make that the Sunday night game for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
hopefully. Yeah,
And how
that
probably
sucks when they
just
do.
saying
Titans
there's a chance.
Jags. Titans Jags making up for them Thursday game we're missing out on.
Seriously. Um, but yeah, like the game finished 6 points, but like you said, like I didn't watch it. But every time I checked like my phone or I looked over on the TV because I was out, I felt like the Bills were up by like 2 possessions every single time until I checked the final score. Like I said, it was like
Yeah, that's how it felt.
35-21, and
Dan
then
Campbell's. Here's the other thing. Dan Campbell's gonna do something stupid, and it's gonna cost them. That's also why I think they won't make the Super Bowl.
What did he went for it?
He kicked an
On
onside kick with 10 minutes left, and they were down like 10 points.
10.5 minutes, yeah. You had
Yeah.
more than enough time. Yeah, we're
And
talking.
you have to tell the other team, hey, just so you know, by the way,
yeah, so weird.
we're kicking an onside kick. So just be ready for that, please. And he's like, yeah, let's do that.
That's just there's no justifying that.
No matter how much you don't trust your defense at that point, you still have to kick it because you can't give them the ball. What is it to recover an onside kick? It's like a 5% chance or some shit like that. 10%.
Yeah,
Probably. I mean, I don't know.
And you're
the
like, oh yeah,
exact
let me give
is.
them the ball on our 40. And
I forgot about the notifying
I forget who it was,
them
Matt
thing.
Collins or whoever runs it down to the goal line after recovering it. It's like, yeah, that loss is. I mean, I'm not going to say the whole loss is on Dan Campbell, but that decision was egregious.
The risk reward is just not there.
No,
I agree.
no, and he's going to do something like that.
With
Like
that
you have
much
games
time
where
on the
the
clock,
fourth
too?
down calls pay off, like the Green Bay game, and then you have other games where you're playing a really good team, and then that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I think that division definitely is a whole lot more interesting now. With that. So, but can Green Bay come and sneakily win that division, or what if they win out?
No.
Is there any possibility?
No, I think no. I actually don't think. Okay, if Detroit loses out and Minnesota loses out and Green Bay wins out, they can win the division
Well, Green Bay
You're
won on
banking on
Sunday Night
because
Football.
Detroit's already beat them twice.
Yeah.
It's true. Well, Green Bay gets the easy win on Sunday Night Football in Seattle, no less. Geno Smith goes down, which is stressful for them because they're in a fight to win that division. So hopefully he's okay. I mean, he's been like the league leader in passing yards like this whole season, like on and off as number one. So, yeah.
So I was watching it when he got hurt, and they put Sam Howell in, and I was like, "Oh fuck, it's Sam Howell."
Dude, Sam
They had
Howell,
no chance.
Washington football team legend, Sam Howell.
He wasn't like god awful with them, but holy shit, man! When they put him in the game, it was bad.
It was tough.
Yeah, this game wasn't really close. Jordan Love, no picks like that, 2 touchdowns.
Back to
How
back.
many weeks in a row now is that with no picks?
2 or 3. My man is trending.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, they look good. Seattle did not look good, but I said to you on the preview, or when me and Zach were talking on the last one, I said to you, I was like, Seattle is totally fighting for the division. The Packers haven't won in Seattle in like a decade. This could totally be like a tough game. Like, this is not a slapdick game at all. And Seattle just did not, even before Gino got hurt, they just did not look good. And the Packers
wasn't a close game.
The Packers scored early. They scored early and often. It was like, okay, this is the pace. It was like, okay, don't fuck this up. But I was a little nervous. I thought it could be a tough game, to be honest.
Last 4 games, Jordan Love has thrown 7 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
And how many touchdowns has Josh Jacobs ran? Like 1,000 in that time?
Dude, I don't know if you watched the game, Zach, but holy shit, the whole
first drive, every
single play, they gave it to Josh Jacobs except for one 2-yard run by Jordan Love. Every other play, and went to Josh Jacobs, and they couldn't do shit. Like everybody knew it was going to him. And they couldn't do anything.
That is precisely how every game should start. You feed Josh Jacobs
just
until
give him
he
the
stops. Ball. You know?
Even my brother, who like hardly watches football, he was sitting there, we're watching the game, and he was like, Why don't they just like focus on that guy? Like
He
they just keep
literally
giving him the
started. He's
ball.
like Leo meme.
Yeah,
Like hold up, are they running the same play every time?
yeah.
No,
Every play, he'd be like, "Oh my god, what the fuck? What are they doing? Why don't they just cover that guy?" But no,
it was impressive. I thought they would like sub him out real quick in between a few of those runs. Like, hey, it's a long game. They're like, nope, they're keeping him in there. And I was like, I
no.
kind of like this. I kind of like, and it seemed like it was totally part of the game plan. Like Jordan Love was like, yeah, I'm not fucking
Yeah,
throwing it. I'm
yeah.
not throwing it. I don't need to.
Well, yeah,
That's
it
how
is
every
because
game should
that
start.
first drive, those first two drives, like you have scripted plays, and so that shit was all scripted,
It's
and
good
it
though. I
worked. It
like you don't
was
see that a lot with them, and you need to feed Josh Jacobs because he's an animal.
Next.
And that's all I have to say about that. So
He is. I gave him some love last couple weeks ago. I was looking at his stats. He was averaging over, or he hadn't had a game in the season that he ran for like less than like 80 or 90 yards. Or he had like one game. I was like, damn.
yeah, he leads the league, I think, in yards after contact. And
Newfound
he's third
home,
overall.
Josh
Obviously,
Jacobs.
Saquon's not human.
oh,
Derrick
shit.
Henry's
Aaron
not.
Jones, who
I mean, Aaron Jones is having a nice season.
Good
He got
season
hurt
too,
it
again.
dude.
is.
He's having a nice season with Minnesota, as I expected. I hate seeing him on Minnesota, but yeah, I was skeptical of the Josh Jacobs signing just because like I
Really?
love Aaron Jones. Well, I wasn't skeptical. I was like, Aaron Jones took a discount to stay with the Packers, and he had another year left on his deal, and I would have liked them to honor that. And even though he was hurt a little bit last year, I knew Aaron Jones had so much left in the tank, as you're seeing right now. I thought he would totally bounce back, and he totally has in Minnesota. So I wasn't wrong. But I don't know. I do like Josh Jacobs though. But that's where I was at. I didn't want to get rid of Aaron Jones just yet. I thought he had stuff left in the tank. But Josh Jacobs is 3 years younger than him. And so far it's definitely working out. So
No, he's been on a tear. But yeah, Aaron Jones has a sneaky good season in Minnesota too. The final two games were primetime games. We had a doubleheader on Monday Night Football. Chicago at Minnesota and Atlanta at Las Vegas. Atlanta, Las Vegas, I have nothing. Kirk Cousins is asked. Atlanta won 15-9 over Atlanta Falcons legend Desmond Ritter. 15-9. They barely won too. They had to get a pick in the end zone to like win the game. Atlanta takes it. Again, don't really have much. Only news from that game is Kirk Cousins is now benched, and Michael Penix Jr. gets his first start against the Giants. So that's exciting.
So
For
what's
him.
crazy about Kirk Cousins is, so we knew coming into the season that it was going to be Atlanta, Tampa Bay. And the two games against Tampa Bay, he had 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. The games against everybody else, he has 10 touchdowns, 15 interceptions.
Dang.
yeah, he played his best ball against Tampa, which was super inconvenient for us at the time.
Well, yeah, we're sitting there thinking like, and Tampa, both games came like kind of early on in the season, like before like the
They
Yeah,
halfway
can't
that
look
whole
mark.
back
scheduling
much.
was so screwy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but then in his last 5 games, he has 1 touchdown, 9 interceptions.
It's really bad.
They probably should have benched him after the Chargers game.
And now Tampa's furiously fighting back, which I would love.
Yeah. But they
See
do.
them.
Yeah. I mean, though Penix in, I agree with Justin. I think it's a little late. I would have, once Kirk had like 2 or 3 games in a row with no touchdowns and 2 losses and like 6 or 7 picks, I would have been like, nah, like we're gonna try something new. When you still
Yeah.
like, at least you can still lead. Like now you're trying to have him come from behind to win a division as a rookie.
So
With
Kirk
3
I
games
think
has
left.
maybe they didn't want to put him in against Minnesota, like at Minnesota, his first game. Maybe that's what it was. But then I would have thought, okay, you start him against Vegas, but then they didn't.
so Kirk has the best agent of all time. He had a 3-year, $100
Oh
million
shit, dude.
deal.
Who's his agent?
Again,
Scott Boras.
probably. He has another $100 million deal. Um, Who are they trading him to next year? Because if you're benching him for Penix,
Who's trading for him is the question.
San
the
Fran.
Raiders.
San Fran wants Kirk Cousins on his $100 million guaranteed contract over Brock Purdy
No,
or
but
Sam
they've already
Darnold.
paid. They've already paid like 33, 35 of it, right? So you know what? It's still cheaper than what Brock Purdy's going to be.
Well, yeah, but
And he
works.
can carry that team to the playoffs when they're healthy and they're stacked. That actually makes a lot of sense. I'd say the Raiders too,
No.
because they can't draft anybody or.
Shedeur.
Well, they're going to get Shedeur. Never mind. I take that back. San Francisco is actually a
100%
sneaky
of the
pick.
teams will pick Sam Darnold over Kirk Cousins.
I don't think so. Well, he's like a decade younger. Yeah.
What?
I think the 49ers could be a possibility.
Yeah, we'll see.
No one has any juicy ones. No one has a guess where Kirk Cousins is going to go.
I
I think he might be back
San
up. I don't know. Who
Francisco.
the fuck knows? Like, he may not be in the league.
He's not that
He
old.
doesn't pay it back up that much.
I said San Francisco. Because I don't think Brock's going to be paid.
Sam Darnold, man, I'm calling it. Saying it.
All right.
To where?
To San Francisco. Anywhere before Kirk Cousins. Because nobody is going to take Kirk Cousins over Sam Darnold. Would you take Kirk Cousins over Sam Darnold?
No.
Okay.
I mean, this season? If you asked me that, like, before the season started, I would say give me Kirk.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the NFL is like, what have you done for me lately type league.
Yeah,
So,
it's true. That's true. Yeah, Sam Darnold looks good on Monday Night Football. Gets the win over the trash Bears, rightfully so. On pace with Detroit to try and get that division. So yeah, not that many close games or really exciting ones or playoff. You know, I guess Buffalo and Detroit was like the biggest one. Pittsburgh and Philly was another close one too, but that one wasn't really that exciting. Moving on to Week 16, though, tomorrow night, we're recording this on Wednesday, so tomorrow, Thursday Night Football, Denver and LA. I mean, that's the 6 and 7 seed battling it right there to try and, you don't want that 2 seed, or you don't want that 7 seed, excuse me, to have to go into Buffalo. You know, dude, in January, was that going to be freaking 3 degrees? Like, you definitely don't want that. And these teams are fun. You know, obviously, LA's coming off of that shellacking by Tampa Bay, but unless, you know, I think this would be a fun one. You know, hopefully it's a touchdown full game, as I would love to see. So yeah, it's a good one. And then
if the Chargers win, it's over. I think the seedings are set pretty much, besides Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
That'll be the last one, right? Up for debate.
Denver will be the 7 seed for sure if they lose.
Yep. And then as we move towards Christmas, we do get Saturday football, which is exciting. Around the holidays, Saturday, 2 Saturday games: Houston at KC, Pittsburgh at Baltimore. All 4 playoff-bound teams, and they all 4 play on Christmas, if I'm not mistaken, as well. They just switch like the following week. It's so crazy. But Houston at KC, Pittsburgh at Baltimore. I think Pittsburgh at Baltimore will be pretty fun because they're fighting for the division. Houston and KC, not so much. I think I say this every week. I feel like KC can lose. They can lose to freaking everyone.
Well, watch this be the game they lose against fucking trash ass Houston.
Trash Houston. Not even like kind of lose. They just get like blown out. To like whatever.
KC's only 3.5 point
because Carson Wentz throws 4 picks or some shit.
Oof, Carson Wentz. Love to see him, baby. Colts legend, Carson Wentz.
There's actually a couple good matchups this week.
Moving on Sunday slate. I mentioned earlier Michael Penix getting his first start at home against the Giants. Probably one of the easiest, probably easier than going on the road to Vegas. You get a matchup against Tim Boyle at home. So that'll be fun. They're trying to fight for that division over Tampa Bay, so we'll see. Should get the win, but be a toss-up. Be good to see. Curious how to see how he does. Detroit, visiting Chicago. Chicago and Caleb Williams, mega ass. Detroit should win this one pretty handedly. Cleveland and Cincinnati, division game that doesn't mean anything anymore. Both teams are dead, so that kind of sucks. Same with Tennessee and Indy. I don't care. I hope they lose. I hope
Dude,
the Colts
that Lions Bears game.
trap game.
No shot,
No,
dude.
no.
Okay, first of all,
Not
mister,
even
I
a
haven't
little
watched
bit.
football in like years. The Bears, you obviously, it doesn't make sense. You're not going to believe me coming from my lips, but the Bears this last week looked awful. They looked like, when I texted you, said the Bears could be the worst team in the NFL. That was not hyperbole. They made the Panthers look like the Lions for the first 10 minutes of
No,
the season.
so just like no
Go
chance.
back and watch the highlights. Everything.
Okay.
Everything was awful. Caleb Williams missing wide open walk-in layup touchdowns. Insane.
I saw the picture of the guy wide open in the middle of the field, and he just doesn't throw it to him.
Airmail, dude. UPS next to air. Just dreadful.
Yeah, no chance. Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Tennessee, Indy. Another 2 games, division games that don't mean anything. LA Rams go to the Jets. If they want to win that division, this is one they have to win, which I think they will. Rams are getting hot at the right time, and everyone's healthy, so that's good. Probably the biggest game is the one we talked about earlier already, Philadelphia at Washington. I think it'd be cool if Washington wins. But I agree, Justin. I think if Philly wins, I think Washington can upset them for that 3rd game. If
Think so.
Washington wins this game at home against Philly convincingly, then I think the playoff game would be like a toss-up.
Yeah, it would still be a toss-up.
But yeah, Philly Washington, definitely keep your eye on that one. So that would be a fun one, good division one. Arizona Carolina. Arizona Cardinals are dead to me, so I don't care. And the Panthers, I don't care either.
Well, they won last week, so they'll lose to the Panthers this week. That's how it goes.
That's how it works. I'm not even going to say anything.
No, Zach's off the boat, so they're going to blow
They'll
them
win.
out.
Yeah, they'll blow them out. Minnesota, Seattle. I mean, this is a good one if Geno is okay. If it's Sam Howell out there, I don't think they really have a chance. I think Geno's keeping them afloat and kept it going for them this whole season. And if they have to throw Sam Howell out there against Minnesota, I don't think they have a shot.
No,
it's over the coin toss,
which sucks because Geno got hurt the worst time because they're tied for that division. And there's 3 games left. There's no room for error. He can't really sit out a game. So I mean, he's a tough guy. I think if he can play, he will, especially with how close they are to how close they are with LA for that division. And only obviously 3 games left of the season also. So. But we'll see. New England, Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo could lose this game. It wouldn't even matter to them at all either. Who cares? They won the division 5 weeks ago.
Number 1 seed, homie. You can't lose this game.
They're not going to get the number 1 seed.
I mean, it matters if Pittsburgh wins this week.
Oh, for number 2?
Because they'd be at 11 wins too.
But yeah, New England at home in Buffalo, nobody's winning there, especially not Drake May. Sorry. Then another trash game too: Jacksonville, Las Vegas, San Francisco at Miami. If there's a way that all 4 of those teams could lose, I would gratefully take that. But 2 of those teams have to win, apparently. Jacksonville at Las Vegas and San Francisco at Miami.
Vegas is favored in a game. That's crazy.
By -1.5 at home. Yikes. Dang, we can go to that game in Vegas for $58. Hell yeah. To see Mac Jones.
Is it that expensive? It's that much money? That's fucking crazy.
Those tickets are usually hella expensive. If it was
they were selling Cowboys tickets for $25 for Thanksgiving Day.
Vegas has the highest average ticket in the NFL.
$58 for your 2-12 team playing a 3-11 team?
It's the stadium.
That should be like Florida Marlins type tickets for $2 in
And Niners, Miami. Miami, I mean, Niners are below 500, so Mike McDaniel's time to shine, baby. At home,
Doesn't matter. Both teams are cooked. Next.
they are.
Doesn't matter.
Tampa Bay, Dallas, Sunday Night Football. Love seeing Baker, so at least you got to watch him Sunday night, which will be fun. Hopefully, he dismantles Dallas's defense.
If Dallas wins this game, I swear to God.
That's what you
You're gonna
don't
end up
want.
like 8-8 or 9-8 or something
Yeah, watch them end up fucking 9
with a
and 8.
winning record. and Mike
Like
McCarthy's
eighth
job
seed in the
saved.
NFC, like eighth fucking seed in the NFC, like the worst spot you could be.
It's the Colts
I'd be
last year.
furious.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, Dallas, and then New Orleans, Green Bay. Not really much there. Green Bay at home, playing against Jake Hayner is getting the start for New Orleans.
Whatever happened to Spencer Rattler? Is he just
Ass.
it? Oh, okay.
He's just ugly.
Spencer Asler, his name. He's ugly. Damn, catching these fades.
That's why they benched him.
Dude, Patrick Starr, he's got the ugly.
Dude, Green Bay's favored by 14.5 at home. But
God.
No chance they cover, dude. No way.
Oh, I'll take that bet, dude. Josh
Ooh,
Jacobs,
No
baby.
way.
you said it. But I definitely, out of all those games, the biggest one will be to look for will be Philly. Washington is a good one. Minnesota at Seattle if Geno plays. Damn, probably those two.
That's it.
I mean, Michael
That's all she
Penix, I
wrote.
like to see how he would do in his first game against the Giants. I just don't like watching the Giants. They do nothing for me. Like, it's like fucking watching paint dry, dude.
Yeah, just get him off the TV. It's over.
Like, honestly. I'm so glad they flexed another game, I think, for next Sunday, maybe, into Sunday Night Football. And they took out, like, I think it was Browns Giants or Browns Jags. I was like, why the hell would that ever be a Sunday Night Football game? They gotta start flexing more.
Getting late in the season, boys. There's 3 games left.
No.
3 games left. Yeah, playoffs are pretty set for.
What are the
for
chances whoever comes out of the NFC is not Detroit, Philly, or Minnesota?
Come on, man. I don't know.
Dude, I could see.
Packers
Green
played
Bay?
the Lions hella
The
tight,
Rams?
dude. No, fuck the Rams, dude. Packers played the Lions hella tight. They played them hella tight.
The only team I know that will not come I'm very confident not coming out of the NFC, like for the Super Bowl, would be Washington. Like right now, 100%.
Yeah.
All out. Like I think they play spoiler and win 1. Sure. It wouldn't surprise me.
I don't think so.
Do I think they could win 2? Nah, I don't think so.
Make the NFC Championship? Yeah, probably not.
No. Well, they'll be playing wild card anyway, so they have to play. Yeah, they'd have to win. Yeah, 2 to get to the
Right, to
NFC
win 2.
Yeah. Minnesota too. I don't know. I can't see them.
You know what? I hate Minnesota probably as much or enough more than the Bears. They could go on a run. It sucks to say.
Dude, I think Minnesota is so overlooked.
They're playing with house
I don't
money.
think so.
They're playing with house
You
money.
don't think they're overlooked?
They were
No,
never
not
supposed to be
overlooked.
there.
Like they're 12-2.
They are overlooked. Nobody's talking
when,
about Minnesota.
I think when it comes
Everybody's
down to
talking
it,
about Detroit and Philly. That's it.
I think
If
when it
Minnesota
comes down to
wins
it,
the Super Bowl, it'll fucking kill me, dude. I can't have that happen.
Their defense
With
is
Sam Darnold?
crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if
The only teams they've lost to is Detroit by what, like 2, and then the Rams after they finally got healthy.
Yeah, if the Packers lose bad, maybe if they lose at all to Minnesota next week, I'll be down bad emotionally.
If the
they
standings
lose
finish
bad,
like this,
I'm just like put a fork in them.
if the standings finish like this, and Minnesota has to go to LA in first round, they're losing.
Oh, I wouldn't. Yeah, that's possible.
No,
But
not
I would say
possible.
the same
That
thing
is
about
happening.
Detroit. No, I would guarantee
Did I
if Detroit's
stutter?
5th seed, they will
Did I
lose
stutter?
against the Rams in the first round. 100%. Stafford gets his revenge for last year.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Would be
yeah.
sick.
But
100%.
Well, no, it's good. Good week, boys. Good luck watching Thursday night football game. Should be fun. Hopefully, Prime puts on a good show, not like last week's snooze fest rather. But as you know, it's Ball Knowers Pod, baby. Like, comment, smash that subscribe button.
Smash that sub button. All right.
And
love yous. Bye.